Today, we're diving into something pretty fascinating. It's a strategy that pulls together ancient art, a little bit of physics, and some modern neuroscience. It's called the Raga Yaman Strategy, and it's built to do just one thing: engineer a state of deep, effortless focus. So let's just start with this big idea. What if music wasn't just for entertainment? What if you could actually engineer it to create a specific state of mind, like intense focus or creativity, on demand? Well, it turns out there's a very specific strategy that tries to do exactly that. You can almost think of it like a formula, a recipe with three core ingredients: a truly ancient melody, a very particular sound frequency, and a solid grounding in modern science. So let's break this formula down. All right, our first ingredient, this one isn't something that comes from a modern lab or a new piece of tech. Nope, it's rooted in a musical tradition that's been tweaked and perfected over centuries. And that tradition is Raga Yaman. Now, you gotta understand, a raga is so much more than just a musical scale. It's more like a complete melodic framework in Indian classical music. And Raga Yaman, it's one of the most important ones, and it's famous for its unique ability to create this feeling of deep serenity and peace. Think of a raga as a complete toolkit for building an atmosphere. For instance, Raga Yaman is traditionally performed in the early evening, that time of day when things are winding down. The emotional effect it's designed to have, what's called its rasa, is all about serenity, devotion, and peace. It creates this experience that's both calming and uplifting at the same time. It's considered a foundational parent scale for a reason. It's practically designed to settle your mind. So, okay, you've got this incredibly powerful ancient melody. But is that the whole story? Is the melody by itself enough to really engineer a state of focus? What if you could go deeper and actually tweak the very physics of the sound waves themselves to boost that calming effect? And that question brings us to our second ingredient. This one is maybe the most debated part of the whole formula: the specific frequency, the actual pitch standard that every single instrument is tuned to. That number is 432 hertz. So instead of using the modern standard that pretty much all music uses today, this strategy tunes everything to this very specific frequency. The big question is, why? So this is where the big debate is. On one side, you've got 440 hertz. That's the international standard. It's what you hear everywhere. It's often described as bright, focused, maybe even a little sharp. But on the other side, you have 432 hertz. Now, its fans claim that this frequency is more mathematically in tune with the patterns of nature, that it just feels warmer, softer, and more natural to our ears. The whole idea is that this tuning is less jarring, that it's just more harmonious with our body's own natural rhythms. This idea isn't exactly new. Visionaries like Nikola Tesla were saying things like this a long time ago, that if you really want to understand the universe, you have to think about frequency and vibration. The choice to use 432 hertz really taps into that philosophy, the idea that the right vibration can have a truly profound effect on us. Okay, so we've got the ancient mood of Raga Yaman, and we've got the resonant frequency of 432 hertz. Our third and final ingredient is the glue that connects these two ideas to how our brains actually work based on modern science. And this is where the whole field of music therapy comes into play. I mean, its entire purpose is to use sound to achieve real, tangible goals that aren't about music at all. We're talking about things like lowering a patient's stress, boosting concentration, or helping manage anxiety. It basically treats music as a powerful tool for influencing our own biology. So one of the main ways music can do this is by affecting our brain waves. See, our brains are always operating at different frequencies. You've got beta waves, which is your brain in go-go-go mode, alert, working, analyzing. But then you have alpha waves. This is that state of relaxed focus, what a lot of people call the flow state. And some studies suggest that certain kinds of music, especially Indian classical ragas, can actually help guide your brain out of that busy beta state and into a more calm, focused alpha state. So there we have it, our three very distinct ingredients: the mood, the frequency, and the science. So how do they all get combined into a single cohesive strategy for making this functional music?
Here's exactly how the recipe works. First, you lay the foundation with Raga Yaman to create that calm, peaceful, emotional atmosphere. Second, you tune all the instruments to 432 Hz, which creates a sonic texture that just feels naturally harmonious, not distracting. And finally, the whole goal is to combine these two things to gently nudge the listener's brain toward that amazing alpha wave state, the perfect zone for deep focus and creative work.
So, the main takeaway here is that this isn't just some background music you put on, it's a soundscape that has been reverse engineered with a desired outcome in mind. Every single element, the notes, the structure, the tuning, it's all chosen to serve a very specific cognitive function. It's literally functional art. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. Is this some new frontier? A future where we engineer art to create specific mental and even physiological benefits? Or is this just a modern rediscovery of something ancient traditions have known for centuries? That sound, when it's structured in just the right way, has the incredible power to shape our inner world.